I like to make editing hard for you because you're our official editor. So I'm just going to say all kinds of smack that you have to remove, talk about
Thanks.
horrible things. And then I'll say, Welcome to the Mid, episode 2, where we listen to Wendy's question. And I'm really curious actually to how this is
hmm
going to go because it occurred to me that one of
hmm
us is going to be prepared and one of us isn't because I have no idea what you're
You
going
have
to
no
ask.
idea. Well, it's on our list, so it's not a surprise.
Well, it will
So,
be a surprise and it'll be completely unprepared for.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
how was your week, first of all?
Oh, the week is good. The week is good. We just had a weekend together.
Yes, we did.
That
So
was
I get
lovely.
forgot.
Teresa was so gracious to come and visit me because of a medical treatment. I could not be in the car for more than an hour. So
So
you came
mysterious when
over.
you say it like that.
Mysterious.
Everyone's going to be wondering.
What's the medical treatment? No, it
That's
was
right. Don't tell anyone.
no, I'm
No,
not going to. Okay,
no, it's
yeah.
super private.
Yeah.
Wendy's vulva reconstruction went really well, is all I'll say.
To
Like a
fix
new
those
woman.
that giant vagina, I had to fix it.
Holy, am I ever glad.
So thanks for helping a girl out.
I'd like to support you through anything I can, especially vulva reconstruction. Hopefully, you can do the same for me one day.
I got your back.
It might
Oh,
not be my
that's funny.
back I need help with, though.
God.
Oh, sorry, I
So
digress. Welcome to the mid.
welcome to the mid.
You're listening to the mid. Yeah, we both had kind of crappy returns though. Like it's always
Mm-hmm.
crappy when we go home or leave each other because we always, I don't know, I always get a little down and lonely. I
Yeah.
actually had like when I went home, I had to have a nap, and then I had like a sad dream about when I would see you
Oh.
again.
Oh
But then
no.
last night, interestingly enough, I had a dream
Mm-hmm.
because something got into my head. I was listening to another podcast where someone was talking about a book called the 5 a.m. Club or something
Okay.
where people, yeah, it's all about being up early and what you can get accomplished. It's not all about that, but I guess the premise of the reason they call it the 5 a.m. book is that when you get up at 5 a.m., the idea is you're up before everyone else and you can accomplish way more. And then it goes into something about how distracted we are as a society and how now is a great time because everybody's so distracted
Mm-hmm.
to kill it, right? Like, because you can, if you focus all of the energy that everyone else is wasting, you can actually be really successful right now. So I was
Okay.
listening to that book and it was kind of playing in my head. Or I wasn't listening to the book. I was listening to the podcast talk about the book and I was thinking about it and I was thinking about how much I love sleep and how I have such a hard time getting up earlier than I had planned to.
Mm-hmm.
I've gotten way, way better. Like I get up way earlier than I used to, but I was having a
You did at
dream
my
that I
house
well, you know
with our
what
comfy
works?
sofa
Do you
bed.
want to know what works? It's really about having a floodlight in your eyes. That's what I've realized gets me up in the morning.
Our house lights, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
a
yeah.
floodlight right in the
It's
retina at
for
about
your
5
pleasure.
a.m. shoots you right out of bed.
I wanted you to be able to get home nice and early.
Woo! And did I? Record time.
My
But I was
God.
asking you in my dream
Mm-hmm.
how, because I know you get up early and you get up pretty
Mm-hmm.
effortlessly. And so I was asking you in my dream, like, you're conscious, like, is it conscious? Do you shoot out of bed? I was asking you all of these questions about how to get up earlier. And then I ended up sleeping in 10 minutes later.
That's funny. And I don't get up effortlessly. It's a struggle. I force myself to get up. And the reason I get up so early is so that so that I can have ample time for my coffees to just veg out on the couch before I have to do my day. I do nothing
So,
productive when I get up.
so let me ask you a question. What is it like? Is there something? Because in my head, I picture there's got to be a phrase or something that I think that will motivate me out of bed. And I'm talking, I get up at 10 after 6. Like, it's not like I sleep in,
Okay.
but I'm thinking, like, if I needed to get up or wanted to get up at 5:30, say,
Yeah.
like, is there a phrase, is there a thing that you do in the morning that you say to yourself
There is
that,
actually, and it's really
what is it? I want
ridiculously
to know what it
pathetic.
is. That's basically what I was asking you in the dream. So,
So literally my alarm is set for 5:45, but I always wake up before it. And I lay in bed for a second and I don't want to get up. And the thing I tell myself is, Wendy, if you don't get your ass up, you're not going to have time for two coffees. literally
Okay.
what
So
gets
it's
me
like
up
a,
every morning
okay.
because I like to sit on the couch, have my two coffees, and then I'm able to function.
So that's
I
your
can,
morning mantra.
yeah. Because
I need
even
to
when I was
find mine.
working out in the morning before, like I'd start my workout at 7 and I would still, that was my drive, was like I wanted my two coffees before my workout. Like it just
When
feeds
do you
me.
work out now? The evening?
Yeah, so now we've switched it to just change things up a bit.
Okay.
And we're doing it in the evening now, yeah.
I have to come up with my mantra.
Yeah, whatever just forces you out of bed.
Yeah. I'll come
Yeah.
back to that. I'll come back
Yeah.
with it. When I find it, I'll let you know.
Yeah. So all this talk about, you know, more time brings me kind of to my question.
What a segue. It's like you're professional. Have you done this before? Are you doing this with other friends?
Yeah, my secret pod friends.
You never know.
So my question is about what I had put in the list, what I'm calling, and I don't know if I've actually coined this term, but I'm calling responsible irresponsibilities. And it inspired me mostly because of this weekend. So really what I'm talking about is self-care and can it be done without guilt? From your perspective, do you think that's possible? Like say, as an example, this past weekend when you came here. I mean, we didn't have any responsibilities, right? Like we went about Christmas marketing and, doing our own thing. But did you still have guilt?
No, no. No, I had no guilt about being there, coming there, because that's kind of carved out for me. So I think you have like I have a couple of priorities when it comes to how I want to spend my downtime that are non-negotiable, and that's time with you, right? And that goes
Mm-hmm.
back to us kind of making that a conscious decision that we're going to see each other. It was, quarterly is the minimum, and then we,
Mm-hmm.
work it in there. So when we carve out that time, there's no guilt attached to that for me. I think that's like my family understands the importance of that. It's never questioned.
Okay.
It's just done. In terms of like during my normal, if I'm offsetting something I feel like I should be doing by doing something that seems non-productive, sometimes I still get guilt. Not as much.
Like what's an example?
So if I've like set time aside to do something householdy or domestic, or I'm trying to think. So I took it, I guess what was it last weekend when I took out my garden, like just got everything winter
Yeah.
ready. I had that carved out, and then I would get a little waylaid, and then I ended up, I don't know, watching TV or something at some time point because I
Okay.
got tired, and then what I don't know, I watched some I watched a really stupid documentary, like 10 minutes of it. And then and it's not like I stopped doing what I'm doing, whereas maybe in years past I might have stopped doing what I was doing.
Okay.
Now it's just like a bit of an old tape that goes, you really should be doing this, this, and this. You're not productive.
Okay.
And because I'm very much a goer, like I go, my days are really long right now, right? And I love my job, so I'm not complaining in that realm at all, but it's go, right? Like it's
Yeah.
very active.
Yeah.
And I don't really stop because my commute's also significant. I don't really stop. And then when you get home, you're doing whatever. I don't
All
have,
kinds.
yeah, a ton of downtime anymore.
Okay,
So when I
so
do,
that being said, then the importance of self-care in general, what does that look like for you? And do
well, I'm
you
pretty rigid
actually
about it.
do that? Are you?
Yeah. Well, I'm rigid about it because my walk, look, so I walk anywhere from 3 to 5 kilometers first thing in the morning, the
Okay.
dogs. I know how different I am if I don't do that in terms of mood, in terms of feeling like I've gotten my movement in terms of just mental health in general. I have to walk. That's when I process stuff. That's when I talk to
Right.
myself. It's when I work through problems. It's when I plan things, is when I walk. So
Okay.
walking is absolutely mental health and self-care for me.
Okay.
Trying to
Yeah.
think of what else. Exercise comes and goes, like additional exercise comes and goes for me. Like lately,
Hmm.
I've been working out and watching carpool karaoke at the same time,
Okay.
which I've been loving. Like
Yeah.
and that
That's
feels
funny.
like it feels like fun, right? Because then I
Yeah.
get into the music or I get into whatever conversation,
Like, I
like
mean,
small
self-care could be
things,
anything, right? Like either going
skin
for
routine.
massages or
Yeah.
just taking time for yourself to get away from that like pressure and stress and whatever it is in your life that's, And I think of this too because I recently, just a couple days ago, had a conversation with an old friend, and
How dare
she's,
you
I'm not naming
damn
names.
her
You're
to
safe.
hell?
You're safe, old friend. And so her, without going into details, her life is really, really high stress right now. And it seems like there's no time for her to focus on self-care because of everything that's going on in her life. So like anything, like a massage, like anything just to get away and just take a fucking deep breath. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, we have our routines. Like it's the same with me, like my exercise and and all that stuff. But do you ever take time to, book a
sure.
massage just
Yeah,
for
I have
not
monthly
for a purpose of
massages.
like medically, but like for self-care, for the reason of your
My
mental
medical
state,
massage. My medical massage
your medical
to
massage?
make sure my vulva stays intact. No, no, I do monthly massages. Yeah, I
Okay.
do
Okay.
because they're covered, right? And so I always think like I should take advantage of all of the things that I can that are covered.
Okay.
Hiking is huge for me. I haven't done it as much. Hiking is probably my number one
Okay.
because yeah, that's kind of my church.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
tree,
Yeah.
walk. Movement is very much my self-care. I think I'm pretty rigid about schedule and routine, where I don't think I
Mm-hmm.
used to be before. I think
Okay.
actually I know I didn't used to be before. Even when I was raising kids and everyone else was in these schedules, I was pretty like I'd rather live my life than
Mm-hmm.
be tied to a schedule. Now the routine for me in terms of keeping my shit together has become really important. So I don't know how to separate that because I'm as rigid about the self-care things, I
So your
think, as I
self-care
am
has become
part
your
of my routine.
routine. See,
Yes,
that's
that would be how I
brilliant.
put it.
I think
Like
that's
even my
fantastic.
face, like at night, the routine of
Yeah,
like caring for
skincare.
my skin or the morning, like sticking to that routine is my self-care because I don't do very well now when I'm outside of that routine. Like I don't feel
Right.
great.
Okay.
And I'm trying, like, the busy that I am, because I really am conscious too of not falling into the busyness trap. Like, I don't want to sit here and go, "Oh, I'm the busiest, and that's fantastic, because I think that's a trap of our times.
Okay.
But the busy I am, I love, because I really truly, I was just saying, we carpool today, and we were talking on the way home just about our days, and I feel very much in my job right now, like in it.
Hmm.
Like I'm doing things a little differently. I'm spending more time with the residents. I work in a home for people with brain injury, and I've been spending a lot of time with them or on the floor with the staff and just really feeling in the work to just continuously keep myself reconnected to it. And that to me is even a bit of self-care because I get so much out of it.
Hmm.
So I think it's really a
Yeah.
definition of self-care probably changes too, because I think
Yeah, that's true.
so you know what I'd say about that? I think self-care when we
Yeah.
were young mothers was very much
Yeah.
also a marketing ploy,
Oh,
right? Because
that's
self-care
interesting.
has to look like a bath with candles or wine. What about the wine culture? How much wine were we sold as part of take it easy, you deserve it, you work hard, have some wine.
I still say that to
So
people. Go have a glass of wine.
yes, you do. You tell me that constantly. Have a glass. I'm like, it's
Have
really
a
not
glass of wine.
appropriate
Drink.
while I'm driving home when I say I'm stressed out in rush hour. Although I think it would be very, relaxing. But it's that thing I think we all told, like, what is self-care really? And is being busy, if you're
That's
enjoying being
true.
busy, that bad?
Hmm.
Is it harmful to you? Like to me, if my work is meaningful to me and it's fulfilling to me, then being busy with it can only be good. Do you
That's
know what I mean?
true.
And it's not that I
That's a
don't
really
step
good
away
point.
from
I
it.
never thought of that, the marketing thing.
Well, you are a marketer. Think
I
about
know,
that
but
though, right?
like way back, that was it. It's like, have a bath. And I'd force myself to have a friggin' bath. And I didn't want a bath. I get bored after 5 minutes of being in the bath. Like I would. I'd go in the bath and I'd sit there and be like,
So when
okay.
did the term self-care start? I want like when did that start? Was that really about selling us stuff? Was it really about like the whole self-help movement and like kind of navel gazing thing is a real
I mean, I want to
point of
say
contention for me.
I do believe that self-care is important because you need time to
So
yourself.
define it. Define self-care for you.
For me, it would be exactly that. Just time alone to do whatever I want without See, it's exactly what I was saying, like responsible irresponsibilities. You know what I mean? Like not doing my routine is kind of a break, like a break in the routine. Not to say that I hate my routine because I do love like when we went to Cuba. I love that break. The break in the routine is fantastic, but I also love coming back home to it. Getting the routine and everything. But just that little break, a little change, I guess, would be self-care for me, is change. A
Okay.
small amount of change.
So what would you do? So if tomorrow you had a day completely for yourself, what would you spend your time doing? What would be self-careful for you?
Um, See, and it's funny that you say that because I like to plan my self-care. So this
So when if you had
spontaneous
time
self-care
for an
thing is stressing me
itinerary,
out.
see, but there's a
I,
bit of rigidity there that
yeah,
serves
there
us
is.
and for me, that's a total age thing. Talk about being at the mid. Like that would have never
Hmm.
been the case when
No,
I was younger because I
no, no.
attached that freedom to like youth, right? The freedom
Yep,
of not scheduling and going with the flow and
yeah.
don't be tied down to this. That was very much like I didn't want to get old and be in a routine.
What is with
And
that? Why
now,
is it that like at our age,
well, I think
routine
it's age
is,
old.
what do you
No, sorry,
mean?
go.
No,
Well, I
no,
think
like,
every generation does that.
but
Like
why?
looks at
What
old
is that?
people like us. I don't know, because it's a freedom thing. I think people think that there's a freedom in getting to do anything that you want to do at any time. And I mean, I guess that is freedom, but I would still choose to be in a routine.
Routine is important. You know what? I wonder if it has something to do with science as well, right? Because like going through maybe it's more women, I don't know. Maybe men feel this way too as far as routine and everything at our age. But from a woman's perspective and somebody who's on the other side of menopause, I wonder if it scientifically has to do with our bodies as well and our body clocks. Like as we all know, as all women know, going through perimenopause or menopause, sleep is a major factor, or lack thereof, I should say. And having routines helps keep that sleep into a routine as well. Do you know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
I wonder if our hormones play a role in the routine thing as well. I don't know if I'm being clear on it. Do you
No,
understand
I
what I'm
do.
saying?
No, I do understand what you're saying. For me, sleep has it's been more disrupted in the last maybe 4 or 5 years, but it's never like I'm a pretty good sleeper. Do you know what I think it might be? Is that I think when you're younger, you think that you're gonna it's FOMO, right? Like if you're not loose and ready for something to happen spontaneously, you're gonna miss out.
Yeah, when you're younger,
And
for
now
sure.
we've done it all. Like there's nothing I don't care if
I
I
have
miss
no
out.
FOMO.
No, and I
No.
used to have wicked FOMO, like
Really?
wicked FOMO. Oh my God, I remember being maybe like as soon as I was old enough to go out all the time. I remember like ha sitting on my hands if I couldn't go out and thinking that everyone else was out. That didn't go away that long ago, like probably within like 7 year, 5, 7 years, knowing that people were getting together without me or doing something without me. It was, yeah, it
Really?
devastated me. Now I could care
Wow.
less. I could
Yeah.
literally care less.
Yeah.
I'll
Same.
send you a gift basket and say, have a great time. Like, I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
maybe that's
Absolutely.
to do with it too. It's like I'm pretty happy. Like I don't, we talked about this on the weekend about this feeling like I'm feeling, and you've echoed this, feeling more settled than I
Yeah.
have maybe ever.
Yeah.
And I like the way things are. So I don't necessarily need a break from them. Like, and I shouldn't like, I like my breaks from work. I love my weekends. I don't sit and think about work on my weekends. I have no problem taking time off. I have
Yeah.
no problem taking a sick day. I have none of that. Like I don't feel immense guilt for any of those things. And I'll take a mental health day here and there when I just don't. I know that I won't be good at my job if I go in.
Yeah.
That's when I'll take off and I'll go hike for the day.
Right.
And I don't feel guilt about those things.
No.
So I think the answer is no.
So, okay. Okay. So fair enough. But as a
Do
young
you?
mother,
Do
do
you
I?
feel guilt?
You know what? It kind of depends on the situation. So, as this past weekend, as an example, okay, so whenever you and I go away, never. I have no guilt whatsoever.
In your
However,
house?
when it's in
Yes.
my own house, and
100%.
nobody gives me a reason to feel guilty whatsoever. Like at all. Like Chad's wonderful. He's like, go, 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 do your thing. He takes care of the house, the dogs, everything, the children.
I know, I know.
But it's just in my head, and
You're
I
in
sit
your
there and I think
house.
like, oh, I should do something, or he's cooking dinner, or I should do, there's just something I should do. When you're in your own house, yeah, it's just
That's
there.
inherently female. I'm gonna guess that
Yeah,
that's inherently female.
I
It's
think
this
so.
we yeah, I do. I think 100% that's inherently female. It's also why I think we shouldn't do those getaways at each other's houses anymore. I know this weekend was fluky, but I
Hmm.
honestly believe it's worth the investment of 1 or 2 nights at an Airbnb
Yeah,
because we've both expressed that feeling.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Because the last
But
time when
you
I was at
even
your
felt
place, it was the same
guilty.
thing.
You felt guilty because you thought I wanted to do something more exciting than sit and watch Gogglebox for 7 hours, which
I
was
know. Literally what we did.
expressly exactly what I wanted to do.
It was fabulous.
I love Gogglebox.
Me too.
I just love it. And sitting and watching, we were talking about how that is the perfect formula for relaxation. I think about nothing else when I watch Gogglebox.
You're dead right on that. Like I didn't even pick up my phone. Like nothing.
Mm-mm.
I was just so captivated by these people watching TV. And then the thought entered my head that we're watching these people who are watching TV. Like it was just I was just in it.
And I used to always make fun of my kids for watching people play video games. Remember, like on YouTube, they watch people play video
Yeah.
games
Yeah.
without playing. I used to make fun of them,
I
and
did too.
maybe I don't need to do that anymore. I'm
Like
mesmerized
I
by
get it.
Gogglebox.
Yeah.
I love it. I love the personalities. I love what they talk about.
Yeah.
I love looking at their homes. I love looking at their ragged little chairs. Like
Yeah.
I love them.
Yeah.
What does the guy say? What's his wife's name?
Mary?
Mary.
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 Am I funny? Like, I just
My
love
funny
them. I
Mary.
love them.
Yeah.
Honestly, I could do a podcast about Gogglebox. No one will ever
No one
listen
will
to it,
ever listen.
but I love it. Anyway, but that to me, yeah, and you felt guilty because you thought that I'd want to be doing, I don't know what you
Yeah,
envisioned that I wanted to
you know
do.
what? And it wasn't, I don't want to say like it was heavy guilt. Like I didn't feel heavy guilt all weekend or anything like that. It's just in the back of my head. You know what I mean?
My
Even like
God.
with the house and all that stuff. It's
We
just
had TV trays and
yeah,
Gogglebox and food.
Subway.
I was super happy.
Yeah, me too. That was like the perfect day. We went to
And
a
I was
Christmas
very
market, came
relaxed.
home,
Yeah.
flaked out on the couch, and that was it for 7 hours.
I was very, very happy.
Yeah.
But yes, let's do it not at each other's homes anymore because I think unless like the four of us are together, if it's like more coupley,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
fine.
Hmm.
But I feel the same way you do. And I think that's so the guilt that I feel about having to do in life are things like that. Like I came back and my house wasn't as clean as yours was. And I did like feel some internal pressure about
Okay.
that. Like I came back and I was like, oh, I really should clean the floors or the toilet or do,
Yeah, yeah, it's
something.
something.
I will say that where that used to motivate me into action, it
Hmm.
now is just something I sit there and think, huh, well, you're guilty about that. Let's let that go. Like I don't attach to that
Good. Well, that's
anymore. Yeah.
good.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
I think
for
I'm
sure.
getting better with guilt. Guilt comes in the shape of like regret and worry about my kids now, nothing else. And I don't think that
Makes
ever goes
sense.
away.
No,
Does that go? No.
no,
No.
no, no. That
Never
worry and
ever.
everything. No, 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 no. That never goes away. For sure.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you
So
for
there you go.
reiterating
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Never.
Never, never.
So what would you say? Okay, so going a little bit back to the marketing part, because this is fascinating me of the self-care talk. What would you say to young mothers now? Because that's a different stress than, every age bracket has a different stress, right? Like we don't have the stress of newborn babies screaming all night long, excuse me, anymore, but they do.
Mm.
And so time is a different thing for them, right? As it was for us way back when. But do you think that self-care is still a marketing ploy at that age as well? Because I don't. I think
I
taking that
don't know.
time, because there is a sense of rejuvenation, right? Like,
You know what I would say? I would say do what makes you not crazy. And sometimes, like, if people force you to go and go away to say a spa,
Yeah.
right? Or go away for a weekend, or they're like they guilt you into that, or
Hmm.
or suggest that that's going to be good for you. If it's not going to be good for you to be away from your home for that long, and everyone's like, "Oh, you deserve the break, you need the break." If it's actually going to be harder on you,
Yeah.
know that. So I would say do what I it's hard because that's about knowing yourself, and I don't know, I think people are having kids later, but when I had kids, I was what, 25 to 30, 31. I did
Hmm.
not know myself. I didn't know what was good or not good for me.
Yeah.
But I think the marketing ploy around self-help, or sorry, around self-care is just that. It's a bigger thing. It's around self-help. And I think there's a lot of exhaustion now because now that that's translated from maybe when we were younger to books, now it's social media. And there's
Mm.
so many messages about what you should be doing to take care of your
That's
mental
true.
health and
Yeah.
how to eat and and it really plays on women specifically
Yeah.
because it plays on that guilt. Well, I'm not doing enough for myself. I'm not doing enough for my family. I'm not eating appropriately. I'm not, and that's one of the reasons that I have no so like I have social media for work and I have social media,
Hmm.
I very, you know how I am with social media. I couldn't even post something to our page. And I will do it, but I took a very conscious break. It's been months now since I've had any social media because resent wasting my time that way, like scrolling, because I have
Okay.
that brain that will scroll. I want to be very much in the world and I don't want any messages that are unnecessary because I can feel badly all by myself. I do not
Okay.
need the help of that world, but I think people are just making money off of it. I think it's the whole new age self-help.
Yeah.
People are getting marketed so subtly all the time, and it's packaged in things like self-care.
Yeah.
And it's really manipulative and it's sneaky, and you buy into it and you end up feeling worse in a lot of cases. I think figuring out what self-care is for you is probably the most important thing. So finding out what
Yeah.
really
Like,
is
yeah.
rejuvenating,
Yeah.
that would be
Breaking
my
it down.
advice.
Yeah. Just
Not reading
whatever
a book
works for
about it.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Because it does. Like if you can figure that out, it does rejuvenate you, right? And it gets you ready for like, okay, now I can tackle the week or the weekend or like whatever it is, right? It gives you that little breath of fresh air that you can keep going when it's hard times,
Well, and
you
we
know.
do it. I mean, even we have scheduled, like, it sounds ridiculous, but we have scheduled times to talk. Like, we make sure that we talk
Yeah.
a certain amount of
Yeah.
time because I know I'm going to laugh. I know I'm going to feel better when I get off the
Hmm.
phone. I know if there's something that I don't want to talk to anyone else about, that's my venue and
Yeah.
for doing that. So, all of those things, I feel like I've done a good job at this stage, at very close to 50, of weaving into my life so that there's ongoing self-care worked into my days.
Okay. Yeah. So I ultimately think that if you can find whatever works for you and not necessarily what's out there in the world telling you to do,
It
that it
takes
could
so
actually
long.
make you better at fulfilling your responsibilities in the long run, right?
I think too, really starting especially with our daughters, but our kids, and just really demystifying guilt at a young age.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? And I think like even having the conversations, like I had a conversation just tonight very quickly because I was thinking about being worried and how my daughter was expressing being stressed out and worried over nothing. And then I was thinking about that for me. And I was like, well, that makes sense because I had like a really stressful middle of my life, right? Like the middle of this
Hmm.
half of my life was really stressful. And
Yeah.
I was in high cortisol levels all the time. I'm like, oh, that's where it comes from. But then I was thinking, and I had this really vivid memory of fishing with my brother,
Okay.
Mark, and his dog was there, and his dog was off leash. And I remember, and I must have been, so he was 10 years older than me, and I was probably like 8, 9. He was probably close to 20, or maybe I was 10 and he was 20, around that, right?
Hmm.
And it was where we grew up in that town, and the dog was off leash, and it was just stressing me out. Like I just started imagining all the things that could happen. I imagined that the dog
Okay.
was going to go after another dog, run after someone running, go into the water. Like, and I kept stressing him out about it. My brother, I kept saying, I think you should put the dog on the leash. I think you should put the dog on the leash. And then finally he was like, well, okay, but the dog's gonna have a crappy time and everything's fine.
Yeah.
And I flashed back to that because I was like, no, you've always been like this. Like I've always been easily stressed out about those things. And that's been like part of the work of my life is to let go of some of that or figure out what that's about. But I think that came from my mom. My mom was like that. I was raised like that. I was raised with her
Okay.
coming up with every single reason not to do something,
Okay.
right? Like when I
Yeah.
traveled, she's like, "Oh my God, like
Makes
this could
sense.
happen and
Yeah.
that could happen." So I think then I inherently gave that to my kid. And now where I can go further than my mother in my relationship, I can kind of come to her and say, "Listen, I think this is where you're getting it from. Let's look at
That's
ways, or
yeah,
let
that's
me
a good
help you look
point,
at ways."
actually.
And it's not to say that that ties in directly to the self-care thing, but at least questioning those things about yourself or having the opportunity to look at them
Yeah.
at that age when they're like,
Hmm.
she's 20 now. So before you get into that place where you have to figure out, or maybe it helps you figure out what those things are to you that make you de-stress or make you
Yeah.
decompress.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I don't think we had those conversations so much, right?
No, never. I never heard of self-care when I was growing. Are you kidding me?
Well, I know, but I don't like, you know what? I think that self-care thing to me, it's always tied to a
Well,
marketing
what's a
thing. So it's
better
not,
term?
what's a better term?
What would be a better term?
Chillaxing.
Chillaxing.
No, but it's just, I don't know,
Just
finding
taking a
out,
breather, like
I don't even know, it should just be inherently part of your life. Like, does it need a title? Because then if it needs a title, then someone's going to tell you how to do it.
that's yeah, you know what? You're right. I mean, it should just
Just
be
don't
part
be
of
so
your
busy.
day-to-day, your routine. Just
Whatever
like,
brings you some sort of
you
happiness
know,
or fills you up or
yeah.
and then it even comes down to finding that type of work. It could still be hard work, but how does it like or where do you find those moments, and this is now I'm going to sound self-help, but where do you find those moments of happiness within your day? Because
Well,
you
that's
can
exactly
have
it. You have to put it in there, right? Like you can do the dishes and vacuum and all this stuff, and then you know what? Just take 5 minutes to read a chapter or whatever it
well, even
is,
in your
right? Like,
interactions, right? So your interactions throughout the day. So I was standing in a Tim Hortons lineup today because I took one of the residents to a doctor's appointment, and she wanted Timmy's on the way back. So it started out with me getting to the door at the same time as another man. And then I just gave him like the after you sign, the universal hand. And he went, which is fine. But then he didn't hold the door
mhm.
for me. He just literally slammed the door. I was like, okay. And he was on his phone. And then he did it between two doors. And then he got in line. And then I'm watching everyone on their phone. And I'm like, so here would be an opportunity where you could have 2 seconds of connection with someone. You could chat with them. You could say, long line. You could say, huh,
Yeah,
Christmas rush. Like there's so many things and so many opportunities to connect,
yeah,
right? So,
yeah.
even in the grocery stores, we have the grocery store that I go to, there's one woman that works the express checkout line. And we got into a conversation one day, and I said something. Instead of, I was like distracted with my own thoughts. And instead of saying, how are you? I said, are you okay? And we both started laughing. And she goes, whoa, that's a deep question. I said, I'm sorry. I meant to say, how are you? And I said, but wouldn't that, I said, but I kind of look at you. You must be like an amateur therapist because you have to like connect with how many people during the day. And we just talked
Yeah,
briefly about that. And she goes, yeah. And she goes, and I always try to because it can make or break someone's day. Taking that
absolutely.
second to look someone in the eye and go, how are you doing today? And have just a quick exchange with someone.
Yeah.
And it's such
Even just a smile.
it's a free opportunity all the time to connect.
Yeah.
So how do you then even take a shitty job or take a Joe job if you have to do a Joe job for a period of time and connect with the people you work with, connect with the people you support or serve if it's a service job or the people like you can make a shitty job go well. It's
Yeah.
about your perspective a lot of the time. It's about if I've learned anything in 50 years, it's that it all comes down to connection. How are you
Okay.
connecting with everything in your environment? How are you connecting with the people you see when you walk down the street? How are you connecting? And I know inherently that things go better if you take that second to have eye contact or to,
And it's true. I mean, I can't count the times like if I'm out shopping, like Christmas rush shopping or whatever, and I mean, I'm not good in crowds. I don't like crowds. That's why I avoid New York City like the plague. Like I don't
my
like crowds.
favorite city. Shh, don't speak poorly
But
about New York.
all it takes, like I could be out and people are bumping into me and just not paying attention to their surroundings whatsoever. And it could just be one person who just looks over and smiles and does like a, huh, like we're all in this sort of thing. And
Hmm.
that's it. Then I'm
It's a
like,
dopamine
it's like,
search. It's an
yeah, it's like
instant dopamine search.
validation and just connecting with somebody else on like the most minute scale, right? Like just eye contact. And it changes my whole evening.
Yeah.
It's a huge dopamine rush,
Or
exactly
even
that.
being aware enough to witness moments of humanity,
Yeah.
right? Like there's
Yeah.
so many moments that are so beautiful and like tiny things that to me seem profound that you can witness that make things better. Like witnessing
Absolutely.
a kindness between two people or witnessing like just there's a lot of richness there if you want to see it, right? And I think
Yeah.
that's what worries me about this generation of head down. Let me get, 1,000 messages per second instead of 30 seconds of reality.
Yeah.
It just
Absolutely.
worries me because you're missing out on so, so much.
It's true.
But I think so that
Yeah.
would be like, instead of saying self-care, it's about are you taking the time to find the opportunities that are there all around you for connection? Because those types of things are the things that rejuvenate.
Well said.
Yeah, I'm done now. I have no more.
Now I have to go have a candlelit bath with wine. It's time for self-care.
Let me get to my box of wine. That's our limit. We know we can never be box of wine drinkers. That's
No, no, not allowed.
no,
No.
you've crossed the line
Yeah,
when you need a box of wine and it rhymes. So
that's
there's
a
another
rhyme.
mantra. Yeah,
A
absolutely.
t-shirt. I've crossed the line. I bought a box of wine.
I mean, unless you're having a party, then by all means.
Well, then it's, fitting.
Don't let me slow down the sales of boxed wine. I mean,
No,
far be it from me.
beer and wine sales now with our one listener.
That's right. Daniel, please
Yeah.
don't let me stand in
Oh,
the... Actually,
he's not.
no.
He's
Daniel,
mad at
you know
you
what? Oh,
because of
you know,
your country
my
bad
hate, that's because
mouthing,
he's been
country music bad
brainwashed.
mouthing.
I had to listen to country music today, and I thought of you. If you consider this country music. So one of the residents where I work loves country music, and we were doing a routine with him. There's a routine to get him to walk and all the rest of it. And
Mhm.
he has to listen. He was listening to Shania Twain, followed by Billy Ray Cyrus, and he was just
Oh, that's
walking
not my
out.
kind. No, I don't like those
No, I
ones.
know, but I'm just
But yeah,
I thought of
that's
you
funny.
and Daniel, our one listener.
Well, we actually have a couple more listeners.
You know what, Daniel? I challenge you. Find a country song I'll like.
There you
There's your
go.
challenge.
There it is.
Yeah, I bequeath this quest upon you. It will be difficult. You might need a box of wine, or maybe we all need one after. All right, so next week it's my turn.
Yes, next week is your turn.
And then we're going to also have our holiday special coming out within the next couple of weeks. And
Yes,
that's
that's
going
going to
to
be
be
exciting.
much more ridiculousness. It's going to
Yes,
be, yeah,
there may
something,
be a box of wine. No.
no, maybe a Tetra Pak. They have the little Tetra Paks.
Do they seriously?
They do. I discovered this when I went, like the first one I saw was when I went to South Carolina. They were selling them in like the corner store. So you could take it to the beach with you, like a little juice box full of
Like
wine.
Capri Sun, but wine?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
my
kind of like,
God.
yeah. Yeah, you
Oh,
just stick a
that's
straw.
hilarious.
I don't know if it came with a straw. I doubt it came with a straw. That's overkill. But yeah, you just have like your little box of wine while you
I feel
bike
like
on
we
the
should buy
beach.
those for Girls' Weekend.
I feel like we should go to South Carolina for Girls' Weekend.
That would be fun.
Oh my God, we should think about it because
Well,
we
it's
could
too
do
late
it.
now. We're already booked for next
Oh,
year.
this is true. This is
Yeah,
true.
but the
We
year
should do,
after.
we should maybe do a girls' weekend broadcast
Oh, that
where
would
we
be
do a
good.
live round table. We can do a round table with questions. That's a good idea.
Yeah, that
All
is a
right,
good idea.
coming
Yeah.
to you in August.
So back to our Christmas special. We are going to have a
Yes.
Christmas special in the coming weeks. Yeah, it'll be special.
Is that it? I'm like, okay, back to it for more details.
Well,
It will
no,
exist.
it's going to be a video broadcast one. or broadcast. I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
broadcast is the right
Broadcast.
word.
Hold on.
Broadcasting
It'll be
to
probably
the
as big as the
masses.
Super Bowl. Probably as big as the Super Bowl. I couldn't get Beyonce. I'll put a hat on my dog. Your laugh
What?
keeps cutting out. I don't know
Really?
if your laugh maybe hits a decibel that
That you can't hear?
no, my dogs are running. No, that like the microphone shuts down because all of us like now you're laughing really hard.
Because
There's no
I
sound.
laugh and then there's no sound. That's how I laugh.
Yes. No,
Yeah, I think that's
that's
what's
not
it.
possible.
I think so.
No, I think so. Laugh harder. No, because now your words aren't coming out. I think it's okay. This is a technical issue.
Oh, is it? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. We'll figure it out in the editing
Yeah,
suite and you'll
yeah,
tell me
we
all
will.
about it because I won't be in there. And I do want to give you continuous props for handling all of our editing, our marketing, our
Well, I haven't done much marketing, just a few posts.
no, but anything that you're the techie handler of this brilliance and I appreciate it.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. I offer nothing.
So, next week it's your turn.
Yes.
And again, if anybody has a question that you would like Teresa and I to answer, then you can shoot us an email at themidconversations@gmail.com or send us a message or comment on a post on our Facebook page, and the handle is at midpodcast.
Brilliant.
There you go.
Well,
And
thanks
please
for joining
subscribe
me.
to our Spotify channel. We are on Spotify, Apple, Audible, Amazon, Overcast, and now we are also on iHeartRadio.
I had no idea about any of those things. So again, thank you. It sounds like we're on a lot of platforms and I appreciate that as well.
We are.
All right.
All right. So
All
that's
right.
it until next week. I look
Thanks for
forward to
showing
your
up.
question
Thanks for joining us on the mid.
on the mid.
Night night.
Now you can stop recording.
Yeah, I know, but see how untech I don't even know how to stop it for. Okay, got
The mid, 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 mid.